Hello and welcome to a game. We're here on Honeycomb. We got Team 1A and S Team 2 OSP, Krieg, Blank, Blue 456, and Crag on Team 1. Team 2, Henka, Al Barbaros, Bears, and Coleman. Team 1's looking to go after Charlie and Delta, seems like. Team 2's quite spread out. Looks like they're abandoning Charlie, which could be very interesting. Normally on Honeycomb, what happens is everybody just sort of meets up top and fights over this point, and the cappers play around the bottom of the map. But I would very much like to see a alternative game style. Looks like one OSP, probably two Ocellos are going up top. No, that's got an escort. So I'm not sure what is gonna happen. Okay, ANS team is spread out a little bit more too. They're not all going to Charlie. Let's go try him down with the OSP here. That is a missile bulker. That is a single missile bulker out of coal. With torpedoes! Oh, buddy. Good luck. I know Chaos made the torpedo boat work, but I fucking can't. And we got 250 bulkers out of Henka. Some point defense on them. As well as a, what is that on the front of that? That's a plasma? I can't tell what that is. That's a grazer. Okay, so missiles on the top and bottom, Nebulous 2 is on the top and bottom, and then a grazer and two puppies. Weird. PD shuttle, illuminators on it. Two PD shuttles with illuminators. Okay, so those are probably semi-active missiles, I would guess. Bear with a 450 bulker, nice. A little bit of point defense on it as well. A Bloodhound tug for tracks, and then a Cello. And you're, wow, deployed under the map for some reason, kind of weird. 450s, Sarissas, Puppies, Jammer, Defenders. Very well rounded. Barbaros. Bloodhound and PD. Roll off. That's 250 on the nose. Probably the same thing over here, yep. Plasma and 100 mil turrets. A little bit of point defense spread around. And 250s as well. On the roof, on the floor, on the floor. Okay. 50 on the nose, 100 on the top, a mine launcher. These builds are crazy. Tugs with some guns on it. A lot of guns, very little point defense. Very interesting build out of the OSP team, although, oh my, ANS is going to be even weirder. Alright, we got presumably beam destroyers. Yeah, beam destroyers, well-rounded point defense. Okay. Plus a couple of E-War frigates. Yep. Alright, what's inside these beam DDs? I've been trying to make... Okay, one whiplash. Reactor. No, one whiplash, one dragonfly. Good. See, this is what I do. Do you have any FPAs though? Because I have two. I think three's better, but you can only really afford two when you do that. Oh my, he's only got one FPA. That's gonna be a big problem. And it's in a little bit of trouble there. We've also got a voxel with S2Hs. One single voxel with nothing but S2Hs. That's incredible. Those have to be some expensive missiles. Most of my S2Hs are not expensive enough to outfit a 3K voxel with it. 250 Axford? I don't see that every day. Defenders, stone walls. Ooh, too many defenders, I think. Gotta perform well against those torpedoes, presumably. Crag and Krieg. That's gonna confuse me. Krieg has Mark 2s, Mark 1s, and a couple of Auroras. You alright? Yeah, with some more Mark 1s on it. AMMs, presumably out of both of these guys. Yeah, I think so. With names like that. And then, a couple torpedo frigs. No way they got H3s. Yeah, torpedo frigs. And scouts. There's too many missiles on this build, Chief. If your Op4 has halfway decent PD, you're screwed. And we're dead. Apparently Coleman, I have no idea what happened here. So while we were going through the fleets, I think Coleman got missiled. That's what happened here. Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. So this is why you don't cap points with missile ships. Because this always happens. Someone checks that you're capping a point, they can see it, and they missile you, and you're just dead. Unfortunate. Oh, some of these slamming into the rocks. H2's at a creek. Oh no, that's the voxel player, actually. God, that's so many. He's playing this thing like a missile bulker with how many he's firing at once, and it's working. Look at that. Look at that. Damn, that's cool as hell. I usually put S3Hs on the voxels when I'm flying, but I'm gonna have to mess around with something like that. I just find that the expensive S2s just don't really cut it. They're too easy to flak apart, but if your opponent doesn't have enough flak, it works pretty well. It's kind of a pub stomping build though. I don't know if that's a real build. Where are these being fired at? Maybe even trying to fire at this? Might have an E-lint track up here. It's this, but it's off kilter. Or maybe he's going on the outside. Okay, that's what he's doing. Nice. Nice. Plonk. Beam destroyer just sitting up here. Oh no, this is the missile destroyer, and then the missile rains. Just ready to dump some paint on someone. This voxel. How many strike planning centers does this fool have? Look at how fast he's firing these volleys. I'm gonna message Coleman. 1 second. This whole team is just sitting here. I'm not sure what their plan is. This is the problem with firing large volleys of hybrids at a time, is they'll all sniff the same target and you'll way overkill. What is going on? Why is this song still on? Oh, right. This is the extended series. Whoops. Alright, hold on. Sorry. Let's put that on default. Move this up here. Okay, that should work for a little while longer. Forgot I opened the extended one instead of the normal. Oh well. Just gonna have to keep an eye on it. Not even near uncounterable, so that guy's fucked. Close to uncounterable. Alright, let's take a look at Hank's fleet here. Nice! How do I get this off my screen? What is going on in this game? Pretty funny though. I mean, yeah, this is just what happens when you don't have point defense. Like, you lose. Been pretty cool to see the missile players doing work though. It's always nice to see. Usually when people bring missile all-ins and it's not a name that I recognize, they perform pretty poorly. Especially on the ANS side of things. They're like, hybrids are the strongest thing in the world! Ha 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 ha. And wind up not using their missiles well, and they just explode and die and lose. It's like, well... So, this is wrong. It's not just Soruses and Auroras. You can bring... What is this guy talking about? Bro, what are you talking about? What was I saying? There's also Tug Swarms with Flak. Is actually stupid strong against hybrids, especially H2s. You don't even have to be a full committed Tug Swarm. Beam's coming in. Beam's getting completely annihilated. Here. No. No. That's real bad. Yeah, these beams aren't gonna do shit. We're getting 450 in the face. I think that's 450. No, it's 250. And look at this positioning. They're in each other's way. Like, this is what I'm talking about with positioning. It's just, he did the same thing over here. Or up here when he's on Bravo and he's like, you can't counter high bridge. Bro, you have to position your ships better. You can't be doing this. Doing a good job of forcing the beams to constantly orient, though. But he hasn't figured out that the bottom beam is already downed. He needs to go after a different one. There you go. Nice, killing the reins. And those beams have flushed this thing and division of the voxel. Real bad news for that. I thought there was a gunship over here as well. Yeah, there they are, they're there. And the experts are coming around the top, too. Now that's a good tactical play. Very good. Oh, but the voxel's firing at something else. Alright. Yeah, so this thing's against a rock, which is really where you don't want to be. When you're expecting missiles. Because of that. You need your Sarissa's range to get hits in. You also really don't want Pavis and defenders on Ocellus. Really need that anti-hybrid. Yeah, it's super over. Inca's the only one left. Nice job, ANS. I don't get to see ANS victories very much. It's nice to see missile players performing well too, because I don't get to see that much either. Usually when I'm watching people play missiles, they're being terrible with them. And they were carried by Blank and Creek, absolutely, no question. I was not expecting much from this voxel player considering his build, but it worked really well. Very cool to see. Nice beam. Kind of just waiting for the game to end at this point. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was a, I don't know, 15, 20-minute reminder. Yeah, 20-minute reminder. Wow, recording's only been rolling for 20 minutes. Incredible. Of why point defense is important and well-rounded point defense is also important. There's also the positioning problem. Like these two ships right here could have saved this monitor if they were all up together, but they weren't. The monitor was split off. Point defense, it's easy to think about it as sort of a pick in the fleet editor and then forget about it, but it really isn't. Your fleet positioning comes into play a great deal when worrying about point defense. You can't just set it and forget it and then just play the game however you feel like. If you want your ships to perform well, you gotta have them packed in. That's something that comes up a lot when I'm playing the pure plasma bulker build. I don't know how many people have noticed that, but whenever they're right next to each other, even though they only have bastions, missiles don't really get through. S2Hs, S3Hs, it doesn't matter. But as soon as they start to split up, either for tactics reasons or because I'm just not paying attention to how close they are together, they get missiled very easily. When is this beam gonna fire? It's still bearing to target? You're pointing right at him. Maybe not. Beams are weird. He's probably not position firing either. To get his nose in a position. Because for some reason that works better than just like command firing. I don't remember exactly why. I think it has something to do with the fact that the spinal beam actually does turret and rotate a little bit, but it's super duper slow. So you're better off orienting your ship manually and then letting the beam finish that orient instead of just relying on your autopilot to do it. Just in general, the autopilot for guns in this game is pretty bad. It's really frustrating, especially when you're playing bulkers. Specifically for guns that aren't turrets. So that's rails, which are less of a problem due to the range. Beams, and then all the casemates. Tanker really fighting this out? It's bugged. It's actually not bugged. He's probably just bad at using it. Oh, it's not. Let's ask. How is it bugged? Yeah, that's because you can't always get thrusters. Yeah, that's not a bug. As you can tell from what I was typing, I didn't quite get to finish it. Is that your ship automatically rolls, because otherwise your thrusters aren't facing the right direction. Because you don't have omnidirectional thrust. Good work on here. This is also not correct. You don't need to clear your heading and reset it. It's literally just how movement works in the game. You have to have thrusters pointing behind you of one kind or another. So the ships auto-turn to do that. It's just most noticeable on bulkers because they have the weirdest shape and they wind up with the worst thruster angling. It's not a bug. It's a feature, and it's something you need to deal with. I'm amazed with the sheer volume of people who are convinced that everything that doesn't work exactly how they want it to is a bug. Man. Weird match. Kind of a pathetic match out of the OSP side. What else happened? Usually we see that out of the ANS team because it's all new players who don't know what they're doing. Also, did you see Blank that did 32,000 fucking damage with his S2Hs on that one single voxel? What a champion. Absolute champion. Mad respect. This video is dedicated to him. I don't get to see anyone else bring solo voxels and do really, really well with them very often. Because I do that shit from time to time, but oftentimes it doesn't work out. It's such a finicky build. Who else does that? Hunter does it sometimes, but same problem. I've seen Spyro do it a couple times, but same problem. So it's nice to see someone do it and bring the hurt. Real nice. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Goodbye. Farewell. See you in the battle space. Toodaloo.